he's going to play his Cthulhu Warrior versus Miracle Rogue. So this is quite debated.
Yeah, this is quite debated as well because previously, any type of rogue, like even before standard or rogue, did fairly poorly against the control warrior. Like they had a really low percentage of winning. But now that we see Miracle Rogue, the power of conceal and being able to, like, if they can't handle the board,
sometimes that's one man to deal 15 damage.
Yeah, exactly. If they can't deal with the board, all those cold bloods, all those pop-ups that the rogue can dish out, especially with Surreal the Poison Mines, there's a lot of huge potential damage.
You might get 3 attacks off a Cold Blood, whereas before you only get that single burst of Leroy Cold Blood, and that's only 4. 12 damage is almost always enough if you have 3 of them to get through all of the control warriors.
Definitely, it all comes down to if the warrior draws Brawl and not when there's full board being concealed, just so it can negate that damage that the rogue has on board.
Personally, when I see a Cthulhu Warrior and I'm playing Cthulhu Warrior against a rogue, I say I win this game when I get Bran Ancient Shield Bearer.
True.
I feel like 50 health is just, it's a little bit on the cusp of what rogue can deal with.
Beat them the old style way, like
We're seeing the Ravaging Ghoul get dropped down here. I'm pretty sure that Real Terror does have one Violet Teacher, and maybe saving it would have been better, but sometimes the tempo of this card is just going to eat through the rogue's health and even trade with one of their bigger minions with the help of the Disciple Cthulhu. Kind of a preemptive play there.
Yeah, definitely. Like usually Miracle Rogue, they don't really do anything between turns 1 to 3, especially playing down this 3/3. Real Terror really needs to remove it, or he can either remove it or play a creature, but he'll be skipping his turn 3 or 4 with the coin.
And then he's going to hit into it,
Yeah.
and he just passes. That's going to be 9 damage for 3 mana. That's almost a Pyroblast right there.
Yeah, definitely.
And, Control Warrior does take control of games, and they try and go to the late game. But if you have an early lead on their health, you can kill them with minions.
Yeah.
It's not something that's unseen. With that Harrison Jones, we're going to be able to see removal of weapon into Emperor Thorazan, into maybe some crazy combos with Bran, which is the whole goal of this Emperor Thorazan warrior deck.
Yeah. And we do see Real Terror just staggering up, hitting in the face, and just passing. It's really a huge debate, just because Rogue really always want a minion to stick in some sort of way and just consistently remove minions so they can gain a huge tempo swing and potentially beat your opponent with just conceal and huge burst damage, right?
It's so interesting how, maybe with a backstab like he's doing now, but Fan of Knives, it's not going to kill a lot of your bigger minions. You just want to spam everything out there.
We do see Real Terror removing the board by Deficient. Oh, unfortunately missing off that 1 damage. Deciding what to do.
It's Cthulhu Face.
Ooh, interesting. Cthulhu Face.
You know why he's doing this?
Why?
He wants to gain as much armor as possible.
Just with the hero power alone?
Exactly.
Yeah. Definitely that's one of the ways to actually beat Rogue, because Rogue only has just so much damage, right?
Wow. He could just Fan of Knives here, or he could coin Gadgets and prep Fan of Knives.
I actually like the prep Fan of Knives, although most people don't agree because it's sort of like a
1 mana Pyroblast again.
Yeah.
If your opponent doesn't have the Boom or the Brawl,
Yeah.
it's definitely gonna deal a lot of damage. So you're seeing a lot of fuel in Real Terror's hand, but
you always want to play Emperor Thoris on an empty board. I definitely like that, so definitely one of the better plays. I'd love to draw even more cards, but definitely think Emperor is eventually smart.
Are you sapping it? Are you auctioneer prep sapping it?
I don't think sapping it is actually quite good on the Emperor.
Because he's gonna get the value again.
Yeah, exactly. And when you have 2 ticks of Emperor, essentially that's mainly what you want.
Exactly. When you can see multiple of these cards, of these Emperor ticks go off on Shield Bearers and Brands, you get to you can gain 40 armor in a turn.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is just the bear in the heart of your opponent. How am I going to defeat this mammoth of armor and health?
Not even armor alone, there's a lot of disgusting combos that when Emperor comes out, like with Brand, like even do with the Doom Collar when the Cthulhu dies off, and having 2 Cthulhus in your deck. I've seen that done so many times, and it's actually really disgusting.
with a lot of value. We see the second Ancient Shield there. Gaining that 10 health and having that 6/6 on board that he has to eviscerate. He has to use a second. Actually, he doesn't have a second one.
No. Especially when Auctioneer.
Something I've noticed about Cthulhu Warrior, it's almost like a Reno deck. As Reno has sometimes around 55 health. When it's such a struggle for a lot of these decks that win through, burst face damage.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when you can go over 30.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it does actually does well on, like, I guess, certain matchup like a Freeze Mage that the Reno Warlock suffers against.
But on the reverse, Freeze Mage versus Control Warrior, we all know how that plays out.
And we do see the Auctioneer getting a lot of value. We do see the Conceal coming down.
Wow.
Ooh, the backstabbing too. He prepped a backstab!
And then forgets that he has the prep. Wow.
And Real Terror also has 10 cards in the set too, so he will be overdrawing the.
That can't feel too bad.
Definitely not.
Interesting.
But he decides to play it now. Is he because he's afraid of lethal damage? But looking at like his health pool, Conceal.
The second Conceal milled.
Sap, which we do see a lot in Real Terror's hand, like 2 saps of being.
There's no eviscence.
Yeah, and there's no eviscence as well.
What do we see on the end there? I can't quite see it. 2 mana. It might be an Abyss.
I think it's Blood Mage Paladin.
I see the dragon on the top. I do think it's Blood Mage Paladin as well.
Wow. Ooh, we do see the Conceal coming down. Potentially using it to beat down the Control Warrior.
Whoa!
Oh, we're gonna be seeing 3 times.
But he doesn't. No. Does he save it? No, I think he has to play the taunts. Armor up. Go face.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Whenever the Rogue has on board, it definitely represents a lot of damage. Definitely playing it safe, putting down the taunt.
We can see the double sap in hand though.
Yeah, we do.
Your opponent is at 43 health. How are you dealing with this as Rogue?
Especially when we see the Auctioneer coming down, we definitely will be seeing a sap. So I believe Real Terror is fully aware that the RXX 2XX is playing Brand. So definitely trading into that taunt. Yeah.
Even if he didn't have Brand, he would still get the second one, the twin.
Yeah, definitely.
We like to nickname them Velcro and
Velcro.
Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
Are the two twins.
I called it.
With Bran Bronzebeard, Disciple of Cthulhu, killing the Gadget Xanon and execute on the Edwin Van Cleef. And why not? Drop a Cthulhu's Chosen in there and get that value off Bran when you can. Also, that card's kind of hard for Rogue to deal with right now.
Definitely. And you're so far ahead too, you could definitely play it slow. You don't necessarily need to overextend. You can conserve like cards like your taunts in hand.
So I think I'd probably play Cthulhu's Chosen here.
Yeah.
Make the game a little bit quicker. It also makes it so, you do have so much value in hand still. Your opponent is never going to hero power because, or if he does, you Harrison and just win the game from there.
Definitely.
I think this game was won by RXX a while ago.
Yeah, definitely. There's a certain misplay that Real Terror did, and it did burn like a certain card that you kind of needed Conceal. Maybe it's not too relevant, but it could have changed like the game quite a bit. Just because you can have a lot of minions stick on board so that you win the game.
This guy's toast.
So we need to see the SI coming down here, taking out the 2-1. We do
Doom
see the
Caller.
2 Caller. Which is 7-6?
I think it's a 7-9.
7-9?
The Doom Caller there.
That's even better. 7-9's even better.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's going to be super difficult to deal with. Even that Vanilla Ice, the twin there.
Yeah. Even the taunt alone. And we do see a Zerdrix coming down.
We don't see a Brawl.
Yeah, we don't.
And RXX actually doesn't have that much removal, even though his health total is so mammoth right now. If you can't remove your opponent's board, he's going to be hitting you for a lot every turn.
Yeah, definitely.
And that damage is going to build up. Maybe Real Terror doesn't get punished too much. I do like keeping... Oh, I thought he was trading that. I like keeping the Azure healthy there.
Yeah. Those are one of the win conditions I have at the moment, yeah.
Going face with both of those there, it's 2 extra damage, but the Harrison Jones,
taking
the Cthulhu's Chosen that could have been played a little bit ago, or is that's a new one? Right?
Yeah, just a few.
Yeah. A 20/20 Cthulhu. This is
20/20.
huge.
Regardless of whatever the rogue actually has on board.
Well, he actually just loses the game whenever RXX draws Cthulhu. Real Terror has no cards in deck. I think that looks like about 5 to me, and then RXX looks to have maybe 10 or 12. Wow, this is an intimidating board.
Yeah, although Real Terror is low on health, that board actually represents a lot of damage. I'm not sure what other cards Real Terror actually has.
What? I like Beckoner of Evil plus Doomcaller.
I do like that as well. So you're forcing Real Terror to actually trade them to that kind of board, right?
Sylvanas, again, very strong card. It's going to kill 2 things. Again, the same thing that the Doomcaller would. But this way, when it attacks, it also kills 2 things.
Yes,
almost like a double effect.
I'm out of cards.
Ooh, he is out of card.
With what you have 20 damage right now, whenever you want it. Oh, the Cold Blood. Interesting.
Yep, the Cold Blood's coming down. So
I think he's trying to do, that's Sylvanas. He's trying to make it steal the 1/1 with all of his might. He's hoping. But again, we can see the Beckoner of Evil is just gonna hit in, or if he plays the Leroy, one of the whelps can. When is it Leroy time? When is he going to play this Leroy? Try and get some damage. Oh my god!
Picked up.
And there you go. You can just go face there, and you would take enough damage to kill him.